Hi, welcome back to another video on this brand new channel of mine. Another football review this weekend. I've not seen any movies this week, so I don't have any movie reviews for you or watch anything new on telly, so it's going to be another football one. Some big results over the weekend. We've had some things decided, some things look a little bit clearer, and then some things looking even more precarious for some teams. So I'll start off with West Ham, obviously being my team, getting a 2-0 victory over Leicester, which was a night and day performance compared to what we had previous week when we got thrashed by City with no desire, no drive, no nothing, to this week where they were far the better team, deserved a 2-0 win. Maybe Aaron Cresswell could have got sent off, but over the season these things luck out. I'm sure there's been an occasion where we've had a bad decision. Nothing springs to mind right now, but it's probably happened. First goal by João Mario, great move, crossing from Masuaku, Anatovic, bringing it down, hammer of the year for a very good reason, sets up João Mario, sorts it home 1-0, well deserved. As the game went on, West Ham just got stronger and stronger, and then Mark Noble with an absolute belter of a volley, which made it 2-0, makes the game safe, which means due to other results that happened over the weekend, guaranteed West Ham safety for another season. Means there'll be Premier League at the London Stadium next year as well, which hopefully we can have a big clearer end of summer, have a good summer window now, focus on next season, look to get in summer manager. As I've said before, I appreciate the job as Moyes has done, but I don't want him in the next season. I'd rather someone else in, get him in early, get him scouting, and power on to hopefully have a better season, something with a bit more cheer rather than misery that we've had most of this year. Elsewhere, Friday night we had Man United losing 1-0 to Brighton away, which secured Brighton safety, which is a turn up which a lot of people probably didn't expect at the start of the season, but I must say I did think Brighton probably would start. I could see them as sort of the Bournemouth sort of team, kind of grinding it out, getting some big results here and there. And I think that's got a good future, that club. Man United, again, I think it's another case of, obviously they beat Arsenal last week, but a weakened Arsenal team, whereas this was a penalty team that really wanted it, and I think they're one eye in the cup final. Hopefully get the same performance on Thursday night. Hopefully West Ham get a victory there, but Man United are having a bit of a trudge towards the end of the season. Elsewhere, Stoke losing 2-1 to Crystal Palace, which confirmed their relegation after nearly 10 years in the Premier League. Stoke are gone. They have been poor this season. What else can you really say? They sold their best player to us, didn't replace him, failed to score goals. I don't know really what Paul Lambert was going to do in the long run, but it's happened now. Stoke are down. Bit of a rejig there. Some of their big players are now Butler and Shaqiri, probably the two big players that are going to be out the door for the start of next season. Elsewhere, Bournemouth put Swansea 1-0, which plunged Swansea into even further trouble, which is really kind of looking up. They've got some fixtures against relegation rivals. I believe they've got Southampton in the week, which could prove interesting. Speaking of Southampton, they drew 1-1 with Everton with a very last minute equaliser from Everton. Something I think they looked like the game looked like they were going to win. This result ended up being what secured West Ham safety, so I was happy when Everton scored. A bit controversial with how late the goal came. It was 4 minutes added on. Then they seemed to score in the 96th minute. But you have to take these things. This happens to everybody. And I don't know where Southampton go from here. They've got some tough fixtures. That game against Swansea in midweek is going to be massive for them. They're still looking very dry. I think they're going to have enough just to get themselves out of it though, but it's looking very precarious. West Brom beat Spurs 1-0, which is a big shot. That was another late goal. Jake Livermore, former Spurs player. Spurs are again looking at a bit of a sort of tragic end to the season there. I don't think they're going to fall outside the top four. I think they're going to be secure in there. There's a bit of a looking Pochettino's future looking a bit precarious, which I think you should stay. Obviously, going to their new stadium next season, I think you should see at least that season out and see where they go. But West Brom are pulling off a great escape. Wasn't that 8 unbeaten there for Darren Moore since he took over? If he doesn't keep him up, he definitely deserves a job, like I said last week, for next season. Give him the chance to either keep him in the Premier League or get him back up to the Premier League if he goes down to the Championship. Elsewhere, there was Watford beat Newcastle 2-1 again, end of the season sort of game. Man City and Huddersfield drew 0-0. It was a great result for Huddersfield. I think Man City were maybe looking at one on a party because that was the day they got the trophy. Arsenal beat Burnley 5-0. Again, Burnley's now secured Europa League football, which is fantastic for them. No one would have done that at the start of the season. Great job someone Josh has done, but that was Wenger's last ever game at the Emirates. He's never going to have a managerial game there again. I did like the quote he had think in an interview afterwards, and he said, someone like reporter asked him, "Would you go back as a fan?" He goes, "Yes, because I can then moan at the new manager." I thought that was quite funny. What a servant he's been to the football in England as well as Arsenal. They gave him the gold Premier League trophy that they got for the unbeaten season, which I thought was a very nice touch from Arsenal. And it's going to be a big job for someone who goes in there again, but not as bad as I think where Moyes had to follow Ferguson, because he was going into a team that just won the league where Arsenal won one of the declines. I think whoever steps in has got to have a better job. And as long as they give the new manager time, you can't expect it all to turn around in the following season, but give him time and we'll see what happens from there. And then Chelsea beat Liverpool 1-0, which was another big result for Chelsea's Champions League hopes. They're still needing to do some work, still need some results to go their way. Again, I think Liverpool do have an eye on the Champions League. I think a lot of their players are maybe taking a little bit higher for league. That intensity is not quite. Although Klopp put a very, very strong team, it wasn't, the players out there wasn't quite at it. I think they are looking, they want to get into the Champions League game, which is Real Madrid, but it's not secure. Champions League football, they still need to pick up results. So one more win will probably do it for them, but they need to get there. That's it for most of the fixtures from over the weekend. Just one final thing, as most of the football community have said, really wish Sir Alex Ferguson a speedy recovery. He is easily the greatest manager of my lifetime, maybe of all time. From what he'd done at Man United, keep rebuilding teams, won a championship, one of two managers that only ever retained the trophy, the other being Mourinho, of course. But obviously wishing him all the best and hope he gets a speedy recovery. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Again, comment, like, subscribe, anything would be great, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.